Madrid secure an emphatic 3-1 victory to win their Champions League knockout phase playoff tie 6-3 on aggregate against Man City. The Spanish side, who created 1.82 expected goals throughout, opened the scoring in the first few minutes as Mbappe lobbed Ederson from outside the penalty area. The French forward found his second later in the half, cutting inside onto his right foot and firing into the bottom corner from close range. After the break, Manhikla continued to show more of an attacking threat with Man City, who produced 1.33 expected goals, blunt in the final third. The hosts later found their third as Mbappe secured his hat-trick with a superb strike. The Manhikla forward cut inside onto his left foot and curled the ball into the bottom corner beyond Ederson. In the final moments, Nico pulled one back for City, tapping into an empty net after Marmoush had struck the bar, but it wasn't enough to turn around a disappointing display. Madrid head through to the last 16 of the Champions League as Man City are eliminated. Well, the good news is that Manchester City have scored Terry Gibson. It's pretty academic because they're going to lose this game emphatically, but a nice moment for Marmoush and for Nico Gonzalez. It was an outstanding free kick, and Kuzanovi as well to get something on it, crashes off the crossbar. Nico Gonzalez steps up and taps home the rebound that came in added on time. That took about 3 minutes for VAR to decide whether there was an offside involved in the play, which seems really ridiculous that the game was done and dusted, it was finished. Real Madrid made changes, Man City made changes at the end of the game, so come to a halt in terms of being competitive around the 60-minute mark, when then Kylian Mbappe got the third, killed the game off, and it was done and dusted for Real Madrid. So lots of substitution, didn't have a real flow to the last 20 minutes. Real Madrid just seeing the game out, but a tough night for Manchester City. It is over now, 6.3 on aggregate. Pep Guardiola joked that they only had a 1% chance of overturning that first leg deficit. He was probably right, wasn't he? But it doesn't help, judging by how they performed tonight. Yeah, the 4th minute they conceded the first goal, so you're up against it as it is. You've got 1 goal deficit, you're going away to the Bernabeu, and you end up playing Real Madrid, and you concede after 4 minutes was the worst possible start. And then it was hard for the Man City players to keep their spirits up. It would have been tough to make them believe mentally going into the game that we can do this. You know, they've played each other so often in the last few years, and it's tough for City to go and get a win at the Bernabeu. On that subject though, and far be it for me to tell Pep Guardiola how to motivate his team, but if your manager says, we've got a 1% chance, and I know he's trying to maybe take the pressure off his players, but wouldn't he be better off saying, you know what, we can beat these. We've got a good chance. Yes, they're favorites, but actually, you know, the self-talk and the psychology of we've got a 1% chance suggests you're beaten before you even step onto the grass. There's probably two sides to that. That's what he says to the press, and what he says to the players is probably what we expect him to say to the players. That he believes his team have a chance, and they did. I mean, there was a 1-goal difference going into this match. Let's not forget there were 2 goals. They had the advantage with 4 minutes left in the home game in the first leg at the Etihad, and they blew it. And Real Madrid got 2 late goals. They did it without a centre-forward last year. Now Benzema left and Mbappe was on the... Everyone knew he was joining. They didn't go and get a replacement. They did it with Josulu. Josulu was their main striker. And Jude Bellingham. So everyone wondered what was going to happen when Mbappe comes. He's made a difference, such a difference, 28 goals, all comps. He's unplayable at times, and you know why. He's got the quality, and he's the fastest player around, and he really does instill fear into even the best centre defenders, Ruben Diaz and John Stones. That was a blow for City as well. Stones going off injured in the first 10 minutes. Nathan Ake's come on. It was a tough night for City. It was always going to be tough, but they needed the first goal, and unfortunately for them, it took 4 minutes for Real Madrid to open their cap, and then it was domination from Real Madrid